Hey everybody, welcome back to Tim Travels. Hey, so went and worked out, got a shower, I feel better. My APU is working right this second, but I have zero confidence that it's going to continue. I've still had to idle my truck. I thought it was fixed when I left Salt Lake City, I don't know, a bit ago, but I got to get back in the shop. It's doing this thing where it'll just shut off like after a lot of times 3 to 5 minutes, and then you have to like reset it, restart it, and it does the same thing over and over. It did that last night, so I was not too pleased. Anyway, something's been bothering me, and I wanted to just throw out a little video about it. And it's this idea of the man in the arena. And if you don't know what I mean when I say the man in the arena, and you can just Google that, but it was a speech written by Teddy Roosevelt. And it basically talks about the fact that when somebody's doing something and somebody else isn't doing that and hasn't done that and doesn't have that experience, that, you know, people outside the arena shouldn't be critical. They should just respect somebody for what they do, even if that person is ultimately not successful. And it was really talking about like fighting, like boxing. And you know, like even when somebody gets knocked out or beat up, you know, the spectators shouldn't be critical because they're not in there and they didn't know what it was like. And so sometimes I think about that when it comes to like YouTube videos. And there's a guy that I subscribe to, and he's a Prime driver, he's a flatbed driver, and I've never met the guy. And his channel is Freight Skater, but it's like FR, the number 8, SK, the number 8R, the letter R. So kind of like a little license plate abbreviation, but Freight Skater. And he did a video recently that I watched completely through, and it was on load securement of a certain kind of pipe that apparently Prime drivers carry fairly frequently. But it's a load that is not super stable, excuse me, but gets stacked pretty high on the flatbeds. And he just discussed the methods for securing it, and you know, it's certainly stuff that I never would have thought of. I mean, I started out in drive-in, and I'm a reefer guy now, and you know, just close the doors and go, you know, basically like put a seal on it. But I know that there's kind of an art to doing flatbed securement correctly, and you know, it's really easy to tell when somebody like didn't do it right, because their shit's going to be all over the highway. And just as an aside, do you think when people hire Western Express to haul flatbed that they like deep down inside really don't care if the cargo gets where it's supposed to go? Because man, I see some like, I'm like, dude, I'm not an expert, but that doesn't look awesome, you know. Plus they don't really tarp, they have like these Army surplus parachutes they throw over the stuff. But yeah, those guys scare me. Anyway, I try not to follow them, or I just let them get way in front of me. Anyway, so he did this short video. It was super informative. Like I said, I watched it all the way through, and one of the first comments that was made was, well, I've never had any problems with that kind of load, or like I've never, basically saying that, you know, it's almost like the commenter was like, well, some people might have a problem with that, but I'm like Mr. Flatbed, and I would, you know, I've never had a problem with that load. And two things come to mind. One is Freight Skater, and I apologize, I can't remember his name. Excuse me. But apparently he was like the flatbed trainer of the year at Prime. He trains a lot, and he was the flatbed trainer of the year. Now, I don't know what the requirements are to be the flatbed trainer of the year, but it sounds like he is at least better than one other person, because there might only be two guys doing it, but he's at least better than one other person, right? And at training, and that's really what this video was. I mean, it was like, put it in the computer system, because it's a training video. That's the first thing. But the second thing is that, you know, you've heard the saying, pride goeth before the fall. And I try to learn by other people's mistakes, you know, just in general, right? I'm willing to take risk, but I always try to learn by other people's mistakes. And he obviously knows a lot about freight securement, or excuse me, cargo securement on flatbeds. He teaches it. And so, you know, what the point of this video is to kind of stick up for him, but also to kind of say to people, hey, look, just because somebody's teaching something, if it doesn't apply to you, that's okay, you know, but don't comment like you're like the bomb and you've never made a mistake. Because like I said, the guy, you know, I've never driven a car off of a cliff and died in a fiery crash, you know, but lots of people have. But if somebody was like, hey, look, man, if you go down that road, there's this curve that's a decreasing radius curve, and even people that were pretty skilled drivers have like botched it and died. I wouldn't be like, well, I've never died in a fiery crash by going off a canyon edge. You know, I mean, that would be a stupid response, but that's basically what's like going on here. And so I like I said, I just want to defend Freight Skater. I appreciate his channel. He's a pretty funny guy. He has some good stuff. He does live shows periodically. But if you're in this business or in any business and you think you don't need to pay attention, or you know that you've learned everything there is to know, you're not a good insurance risk. You know, I don't want to be around you on the highway. So I'm gonna leave a link to Freight Skater's video, and if you like what you see, man, subscribe to his channel. He's a good dude. He's out here working hard. He's got a family he's supporting, and you know, I appreciate his content, so I hope you will too. Anyway, that's it. I just wanted to share that. Sorry for the rant, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.